the Apubco Studios at Britain and Broadway, you're listening to a News OK podcast.
Hi everybody, welcome to a comics podcast at newsok.com. I'm Matt Price, here with Kyle Roberts.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about some comics this week. There's some holiday comics. We're going to start with Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy Sterling Gates
is
still writing on it.
University of Oklahoma graduate Sterling Gates continues on Supergirl, which shot up in sales over the last couple months since he's been the writer. So fans are enjoying his take on the character. This is part 8 of New Krypton and by Jamal Igle. And Supergirl loses somebody close to her in this story. It's a very emotional story. There's also a lot of heavy action in the story as Reactron and Metallo are back. And you've still got the 100,000 Kryptonians on Earth trying to figure out what they're going to do, trying to fit in with society. Maybe things aren't exactly working there. So a lot happening, and of course Sterling is continuing to write this along with James Robinson and Jeff Johns and their parts of the book. And I think it's one of the best Superman crossovers we've seen in some time, and keeps the Superman books really fresh, really good books this year all across the line.
Yeah, of course we're excited to see where this takes off from there as well.
That's right, and a really cool cover by Josh Middleton. We don't mention him that often. He's been doing the covers on these, and he's been doing a nice job.
Okay, next one is a holiday special from the DC Universe.
DC Universe Holiday Special. DC Comics often will do some holiday or Christmas-themed comics. They did Christmas with the Superheroes back in the 80s, and they've even collected some of their holiday stories in a trade paperback. This year there's several new stories, and Sterling Gates actually writes a couple pages of this, intro and outro. It's a variety of different writers and artists, sort of using Aquaman, Teen Titans, Nightwing, Blue Beetle, different characters. Probably my favorite or my best reason to pick this up outside of the Sterling Gates stuff is there's a Kevin Maguire story, and he was the artist on Justice League International back in the 80s. Always like his stuff. I will buy any comic that he draws. He's got a very expressive style and just love his work. So that for me is that's 2 selling points for you. But
also, if you're a fan of DC and Christmas, you might like it.
Exactly. So nice stocking stuffer.
Oh yeah.
Then we've got
Terminator. Back. He said he was going to be back, and
he's back.
He's back.
Terminator Revolution. This is from Dynamite. This continues from sort of the T2 Terminator storyline. Somewhat ironically or strangely in some ways, there are 2 different Terminator licenses out there now. I believe IDW is going to pick up the prequel to the new movie Salvation, whereas Dynamite has the follow-up from Terminator 2. So Simon Furman writes this. He wrote Transformers for a long time, sort of the better reviewed Transformers comics late in the run and in the UK that are considered some of the better sci-fi type comics of that run. So he's probably a good fit for another big robot, the Terminator, which this features John Connor and Sarah on the run in the near future, and then in the farther future, sort of the war between John Connor and Skynet. So if you like T2, you like the Terminator character, I thought this was a good adaptation, a good follow-up with him, and some neat covers. You've got 2 different covers. One we got here today has got the sort of Terminator robot shell coming out, and there's also one with John Connor on the front. So
Dynamite, good work.
All right, and then we're going to close out Dark Reign. Yeah, New Nation. What's happened in Marvel Universe is that following Secret Invasion, Norman Osborn has been set up as a hero, and he is sort of taking a dark reign onto himself, sort of putting the heroes in an even worse position than they already were. Really, if you look at being a hero in the Marvel Universe, it's gotten rough over the last few years. Captain America gets killed, there's a big civil war, you have to get registered, Skrulls invade. Now you got Norman Osborn calling the shots on a lot of things, so I assume if you're Spider-Man, things are about to get even worse. What they do in Dark Reign New Nation is there's short stories that set up a lot of the new series that are spinning out of this. One is War Machine, written by Greg Pak. Of course, we all know and love Greg Pak from World War Hulk, which is one of the best big events in recent memory. Jonathan Hickman, who we've enjoyed on Transhuman and Red Mask from Mars, is going to co-write with Brian Michael Bendis a book called Secret Warriors, which will feature Nick Fury and some of the characters working with him. You've also got some stuff that's going to spin into New Avengers, and you've got, I believe, an Avengers Initiative story. So several different stories that are going to spin into what's happening with Dark Reign. How are people going to react to it? What's happening in the Marvel Universe? And it's going to continue in New Avengers and in several other books, including the ones we just mentioned, which you can kind of get a preview in the Dark Reign New Nation one-shot.
Sweet.
So that's what you're looking at comic book stores this week, and comic books are expected to be on time next week with Christmas Eve comics if no weather delays happen, and then the week after that you'll see new comics on Friday. So for Kyle Roberts, I'm Matt Price, and thanks for watching.